got to tell you something. I have an amazing eye surgery thanks to technology, but I don't want a robot. And I don't want AI making calls for me or making a suggestion for me when I write music either. But that's where we're at with this shit. And it's just, it's too much. This is just too much. I mean, I don't live in Silicon Valley for a reason. I'm a
Yeah, man,
human.
I'm
I
with
want to
you.
talk
I
to a
really don't want a
human.
love bot or a car that drives me around. I want to drive
No, come
myself. You know what I
on.
mean?
Yeah.
So,
Hey,
I mean,
it's great having a
and
Tesla.
I'm not being old fashioned and redundant, but I do love my V8. I hope I can leave some beautiful memories with some people before I go.
well, you already did.
It came from working with people that would listen to me, because whatever they were doing before they met me was not working. I was on drums or bass, and Casey was always on the keyboard. And we constructed the rough drafts from that and built on that.
Would you say that being that you did make it uh, from a particular type of studio with a certain flavor of music, and Casey didn't fit that mold, if you will, he was very different. Do you think that being different was kind of an interest to the record label, if you will, or do you think they wanted him more to be more fitting? And do you think that that is because if you watch Casey, he's very pop. He doesn't seem to have a lot of soul. If
That's correct.
Yeah, wow.
I found that his energy was good, but his what he was doing was not making any impression to me for any market that I knew that we could, utilize and become successful. So I had to get him to listen to me and follow my directives.
So my understanding is that you were able to go to these radio stations in Sobe or Miami Beach, whatever, or even Miami, Hialeah, wherever, Doral, wherever they were based, and you were able to get them to play your songs.
What I knew from what they were going for, because those guys had a vibe of the Miami music scene. They were already playing hit records from everybody. So if you're a smart guy and you're paying attention to what their playlist is, then you also could follow those directives and come up with some more hit records that, that would also fit their playlist. And that's what I was into.
And this album, I see you're on that album on the far right, correct?
Yep.
Wasn't there a car broken down on a highway or something, and you guys helped this woman out, and Casey didn't want to help?
Yeah, how did you find that? Did I say that to you, or did I tell you that story?
I'm not going to say anything negative. We're going to keep it on the up and up.
No, where'd you hear that from? Did I tell you that, or
yeah,
what?
Yeah, you did. You did.
We were coming home from the studio late one night, and there was this old elderly couple. They were broken down on the Palmetto Expressway. That's 826, and I was going around the corner, and I noticed that these people had a flat tire, and they were standing outside of their car with the trunk up, and they were facing whoever was oncoming traffic. And I immediately knew that they needed help. And so Casey was riding with me, of course, but he said, "Why are you stopping?" I said, "Because these people need help." He says, No, we don't do that anymore. You have a hit record. You don't have to do that no more. I'm like, you don't understand. These people really need help. I'm stopping. So he got really upset that I stopped. But I did help them. I helped them, change their tire and get them on their way. And there seemed to be some, ever since that moment, there was this separation where I knew what I was supposed to be doing, and he was on another plane. So I never agreed with his perspective on that. I think that was the beginning of our separation right there. So I'm not going to mention to you what happened in the manager's office up in California. So I'll just leave.
So what happened in the manager's office in California?
You really want to know that? No. I don't think we should broadcast that. That's really ugly. You really want to know that? I mean,
absolutely.
No, I mean, if we were on a broadcast, I would tell you, but I don't know if we should put that out there.
Well, just a hint, a little bit, to give me an idea.
The managers had another idea, and what that was to separate Casey from the group and make him believe and understand that he don't need them no more because he's above all of that. So yeah, I'm like, well, how do you just throw people away that helped you get where you were? I mean, how is that even appropriate? I mean, what kind of thinking is that?
So my understanding is, didn't you write a lot of the music though, right?
Well, yeah. How do you create 7 years of success and then say, okay, I'm going to go solo? Not everybody that goes solo has success. You know what I mean? And so I'm just keeping it real.
And then didn't he have surgery or something? And then he became super cocky.
Yeah. How did you find out about that? Where did you get this from? As soon as he got that done, now you couldn't talk to him. He was like full of himself like never before. But, you know, my position was very difficult because how do I keep all this shit running smoothly? How do I come up with another hit? How do I keep the band from fighting with each other, which is a lot of that was going on. And nobody knew about any of that, you know, because I was the first guy to leave, but I left for a very good reason. And I'm not going to tell you on the air what that is. I'm just saying I left for a very good reason. So he might think that I destroyed the band, but actually it was him. It was him by making this announcement that he's going to do a solo album. How crushed do you think the rest of the band felt when he made that announcement? And then he had the balls to ask us to come and play as guest musicians on his solo album? I don't think so. I don't think so. I mean, am I thinking wrong or right? Just think about
I'd
that
be
for a
like,
minute.
you know, I started this podcast with Rachel. I mean, it's a podcast. We're not selling 100 million albums, but I would never throw her under the bus. I mean, you know, it either works or it doesn't, you know.
Thom,
Yeah.
Thom, there was no excuse for Casey doing that or you know, taking advantage of me and or the band and or blaming me for the downfall. Because listen, I wanted to get out. I was tired of all the fighting.
My good friend Mike went to school with you, and you guys used to drag race and do
My
donuts.
boy, he had a Roadrunner, a '68 Roadrunner. It was the color of it was orange. His parents got it for him for his birthday, and it was a 383. And he used to come over and get me to go to junior high school. I don't think he had a license then, but I didn't either. But you know, he would come over and burn the tires in front of my mom's house. I wound up with a '66 Hemi Satellite, a 2-door hardtop Satellite. I wound up with a '70 GTX. I wound up with a '57 Plymouth Fury. I mean, all these different cars. So I got a white XJS, and then I got a white 4-door for the company. And then I bought my mom a dark blue 4-door XJ6. I paid off all my brother's loans and debts, and I bought them all brand new Trans Ams. That was a lot of fun. And during Rock Your Baby, I bought everybody in the neighborhood a brand new Sony Color Trinitron television.
I'm going to go to Michael. Mike, I was just talking. We were just talking about all the things he bought all those friends. Did he get you anything? Like, no.
Well, I think what happened was that, you know, when success takes you over, you accidentally forget the people that were there for you when you started. I mean, it wasn't on purpose. It just happens, you know.
No, man.
So I'm regretful. I mean, if I had it all to do over again, of course, that would not be like that.
Yeah. Well, you know, I like cars too. You know, I had a Maserati. You know, beautiful, and you know, Vets and you name it. I had a thing for cars too. My brother too. He had a '71 Chevelle 442 Hurst Olds restored. Everything was beautiful. So what was KC driving around back then?
I don't know. He liked Thunderbirds.
My mom had a
stick shift. Loved it.
A yellow
rabbit.
I
loved that. That was my dream car in like high school. I wanted a rabbit.
Cool. Yeah, the rabbit is also good. Yeah, absolutely, no doubt.
So my 87-year-old mother that I take care of, she's upstairs right now. She walks with a cane, right? So I mean, every night she get up to use the bathroom, and I hear this, right? Right down because we've got like bamboo floors, and yet when she goes outside, she straps herself into this white. It's a Beetle, but it's the poor man's Porsche. It's got like the 2.4 liter, whatever it is, Porsche turbo engine in it. They made them for like so many years. You're a car guy. So Volkswagen combined Porsche and made this like Beetle in 2000. It's a 2012 also, and that thing is like a slingshot. I mean, this thing is faster than than the 350Z convertible
Your
I
mom
have.
is
Yeah,
going
This
super
thing
fast.
is like it's seriously, it's got the Porsche motor in it. So I'm at a light now and then because I take it out for groceries or whatever, and some guy will pull up next to me, and it's like he thinks he's he's gonna blow me out, like he wants to race at the traffic light. Some kid is 21 years old with his, and this thing, I'll just get on it, and this thing just, I'm telling you, man, it's one of it's so friggin' fast. Seriously, a 6-speed turbo 2.4 Porsche motor in this little Volkswagen. I mean, it's a
Shot
lot
out
of
of
fun
a
to drive, man.
cannon.
Yeah. Anyway, I don't know why I told you that.
I hate to sound too old fashioned, but I'm also a fan of the Corvair.
Ooh.
Do you
Well, I
remember the
gotta tell you, my
Corvair?
grandmother drove a Corvair.
Oh
Yeah.
my God! It's like that's a magic carpet. Have you ever experienced how it feels? It's like driving a magic carpet.
Well, I've never
If you
been
can
on a magic
imagine,
carpet, but
if you can imagine how a magic
uh,
carpet would
uh,
drive, that would
so
be
one day when I'm on a magic carpet, I'll be going, this feels just like an old Corvair to me.
the. Yeah, Casey came from Hialeah. I came from Opa-locka. But I would give anything to go back to my childhood because I really miss my childhood friends. I must tell you, that was, if I could stay in that way forever. I mean, it was amazing. It was just absolutely amazing.
I kind of
I
miss my
mean, the
years
kids.
in Miami too. We kind of grew up. I used to hang out in Sunrise and Pembroke Pines, and I had an office
Mhm.
on Lincoln, off of Ocean and Washington in 17th, basically, which is now Lincoln, where the Sun Trust Building is. I had an office there, and I lived in Miami or worked in Miami most of my life, and I go back, and it's just amazing that how time flies. Quick before we leave, did you have a nickname? Did these guys have nicknames or anything? Like,
Uh, Casey was called Crab. I was
I'm
called
sorry, what? Crabs?
Crab, yeah, and I was called Finchstone, as like Fred Flintstone, but
Flintstone.
Finchstone. Yeah, you guys are amazing. Thank you so much.